Hey guys, it's me, Laura, and I didn't realize I would be available to do this scope. Hi, C. Burnett, 87, how are you? Krista, hi Krista. Nancy, how are you doing? I hope you're having a good day. Where I live, it's very beautiful. It's so nice outside. It's about 82 to 85 degrees. I saw a friend's post, she lives close to Maine, and for her spring, she had snow everywhere. I was like, wow, it's so different in California. Kara SC, how's it going? Rain, how are you? So my name is Laura Marriott, and I'm a singer-songwriter and a worship leader. Hey, Shamar. Hi, B Heels. But I'm also a vocal coach. And Kristen, hey Kristen, I've taught lessons for, I don't know, how old am I? Almost, 15, 20 years. And I studied voice as a vocal performance major. So I've been good. Get God's freedom. How's it going? So I thought, Angel, hi Angel, nice to see you. So I thought that every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific time, you're doing good? Awesome. I would get on and I would talk about the voice and maybe answer questions, pick a topic. Cody, you came in. Yay, I'm so glad. I'm so glad Cody's here. So I thought that I would pick a topic every Tuesday at 2. Hey! Cody is an awesome singer. Go listen to her music. She has an album out, and it's beautiful. And so I thought today I would talk about resonance. I don't know if any of you guys are singers. If you are, give me a thumbs up. Let me know who I'm talking to. And if you know what you are, if you're like a bass or a baritone or alto or soprano, then let me know. Hi, Laura. I wanted to let you know I'm going away for a few days, so might not be able to go deeper live. Oh, okay. Well, you take care, and thanks for letting me know. You can catch the replay on catch.me, but thank you. Just joined our praise and worship team, not confident in vocal ability, looking for advice. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. So let me talk a little bit about resonance. I love resonance, and I think it's not talked about enough. Okay, sounds good. All right, awesome. And then I'll just take some questions if that's okay with you. So resonance, okay, we call it right here, we call it the mask area, okay? And as you can hear in my voice, I'm talking a lot in my resonance. I'm talking a lot with my voice up here. I'm not talking in my throat. If I was talking in my throat, it would be down here, and I would be a little bit more lower. And do you hear the resonance? Do you hear the vibrations in the throat? It would be down here. If I was talking in the back of my head, it would be back here. And there's just not a lot of resonance back here. Do you hear the difference? So now with my voice up here in my resonance, right here in the resonators, I have a little bit more, what's the word? Timbre, in my voice. It has a little bit more life to it. It sounds different. Do you hear the difference? So for your voice, a lot of us decide where we want to place our voice to get the certain sound. Some people, one thing that I thought was really interesting, I was sick last week, okay? And on Easter, and actually last Sunday, my voice was right in here. It was right in my throat. I had a lot of guck in my throat, and I had a really hard time singing. My voice just was not coming through very well. And I wasn't excited to sing a solo. I wasn't excited to lead a song. But I had to. So I started singing, and I had like this raspy sound to my voice, and it sounded kind of like, rock-ish. And I got compliments on how I sounded because I had something distorting my tone and it wasn't pure and clear anymore. It was distortion, and that's what was cool. So the problem with that is that that's kind of the norm in our culture right now. When you're listening to singers on the radio or whatever, our favorite singers, it's the norm to have distortion in our sound and in our tone. And it's unfortunate because when we learn how to sing correctly, we can have a very pure, wonderful, warm tone to our voice. Okay? And I really love tone and placing your voice in the right register. A lot of people will sing from their throat. Like I was listening to, I'm going to sing it bad. This is not how they sing it on the radio, but like I was listening to, say something, I'm giving up on you. Say that, what's that note? Say something, I'm giving up on you. Ah, la, 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 la. It's all throat. That's how it sounds. I couldn't find my pitch for some reason. But that's very throaty. Ah, it's like a controlled yell. Okay. And the rule of thumb is, I believe you're supposed to learn how to sing correctly, and then if you want to break the rules, you can decide to break the rules whenever you would like to do that. You get what I'm saying? Okay. So I like to learn it the correct way and then decide if I want to break the rules or not. It's always good to go back to your core. Cody, if she's on, she is a classically trained singer, and that's the core. And when you learn the core, you can always go back to the core. If you're having a hard time with your voice, you can always go back to the core. The cool thing about me singing when I was sick was I wasn't singing in my throat. I was singing in my resonators right up here. And so I was bypassing all the guck in my throat, and I was able to pull it off. But if you were to talk to me afterwards, I was totally sick. I was like, hi, I have to sing now. I sounded horrible. But then when I started singing, I was able to bypass this because really it's a passageway. In order to have good resonance and good sound and tone, you don't have to sing down here. You can sing up here. Say something, I'm giving up on you. La na 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 na. It sounds fine, right? I was right here in my resonance right here. It sounded fine. And that's what I wanted to teach you guys about. So here are a couple exercises for you to do if you want to. These are things that I do before I sing Bro 3. Hey, how's it going? So I'm talking about resonance, okay, and some exercises. So I do this in the morning, trying to wake up the voice. So I like to do sirens, okay, and I'm sure those that have taken voice lessons know what I'm talking about. These are really easy things to do. So you've heard sirens, like, ooh, like that. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to close my mouth and make it very buzzy in my nose, like that. And you can do it two ways. Yeah? You do it two ways. You can go down to your lower register all the way up to the top and then come back, kind of like a Ferris wheel or something. And so you go, notice how there are notes. All those chromatic notes are in there. Did you hear those chromatic notes? You want to try and get, hi Trash Man, how's it going? You want to try and get all of the notes in that siren. A lot of the time what I hear is people will skip. They'll go, and they'll skip a ton of notes. And they don't realize that you can make them continuous. You can make them connected, okay? And if you're having a hard time with registers, if you're kind of like, You went super high, Laura. Like, I can't go that high. I don't know how you did it, or whatever like that. Here is another thing I want you to do. And you're going to hate me for wanting to do this, but go somewhere where nobody's going to hear you. And think about a couple things. I want you to do some dog barks. You're going to think that's crazy, but there's a purpose to my madness here. So you think of a dog that has a really deep ruff, okay, like a Rottweiler or something. I want you to bark like a Rottweiler, just like if you're playing with your kids or with little kids, and you're pretending to be a Rottweiler, like really low. And then go to like the Cocker Spaniel or something, a medium-sized dog. Then go to the yippy yippy dogs that are like, I don't know, what are they? What are they? What are the yippy dogs? You know what I'm talking about. All those. Or think of like a dog that's trapped and it needs its mommy. It needs somebody to rescue it. Pretend to be one of those dogs. Hey, Sergio. I'm giving voice lessons right now. I want you to pretend. Those dogs have pitches. If you can get your mind wrapped around with the idea of where your voice is to get that sound, those are pitches. If you're able to pretend to be a Chihuahua, ciao, nice to see you. If you're able to be a Chihuahua or a whiny dog, that means that you have those pitches in your register. Those are pitches that you can use in your register and vocabulary. So, we talked about the sirens, okay? We talked about pitches. Work on those pitches. And then the third one is called the motor car. And some people can do it and some people can't, but I have not met a student yet who hasn't been able to figure it out. Most people are very tight in their cheeks and in their mouth and their jaw, and they're not breathing from their diaphragm down below, and so they're not initiating their breath. So a motor car would be, okay? So if you're guys, you know that you'd be like, brum, 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 with a car and you're playing like a kid or whatever. So motor cars, try and see if you can do motor cars. Okay? When you do a scale, you would go, okay? And you go up your register. What that's doing is you're placing those notes in your resonator. Right here in the mask. When you do your sirens, when you're doing the motor cars, you're placing them in the correct spot. I love to teach that because the voice becomes much more vibrant, more warm sounding, clearer, and really lovely to listen to when you place it in the correct place. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. It's very clear. There's nothing that is hindering your voice. That saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I am found. Was blind, but now I see. Okay? So I'm able to control my voice a lot more and my registers a lot more because I'm placing it in the right place. I have a continuity of sound, and I'm not switching from my chest to my head. I'm not doing amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Because I didn't want to go to that and just tear my vocal folds. I went up to this high false register. Like me, I once was lost, but now I'm found. Have you ever heard that before? Where people will switch their registers so dramatically. I hear it all the time in worship music, on the radio, all the time. Where, you want that gritty, powerful sound, So you'll sing your heart's content in the throat, but then there's some song, the notes go up to the higher register. What are you going to do? You got to switch, and you don't know how to connect the two. You don't know how to make them strong and powerful and clear. And so you'll go into this false, like I heard Christina Aguilera was doing that. So say something, I'm giving up on you. And then to get intimate with her voice, she would let go of this and she'll do it in the false area. La, 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 la. Now let go what I said. You go back to the beginning of what I said. You learn how to do it correctly, and then you can break the rules. I know how to sing in my throat. I know how to sing in the higher. I know how to do that because I've learned how to do that. But I also know how to be strong in my register and my voice and connect all of the notes together so that I don't have to have that huge dramatic break all the time if I don't want to. Does that make any sense? Let me know if it's making sense and if it's of value to you guys to know that. I think for me personally, I thank you for the hearts. I prefer to sing here. I have my own sound. It's who I am. And some people might think it's too clear. It's too pure. It doesn't have that, gritty sound to it or rock star sound to it or whatever. And I've come to terms with I don't care because I actually like to sound the way I sound. And if I wanted to, like there's a U2 song I sang, what was it called? It was so long ago. And I had to belt it. And I had to use my throat and use other places to belt that song. And for a certain song or a certain style, I'm fine with that. But if you're singing so many different songs, like say you have an album of songs, or say you're a performer and you're out on stage and you have to sing like a lot. I don't like to sing in my throat a lot. It's going to hurt you. It's going to damage your vocal folds. I don't like to sing falsely in my head a lot because you're so quiet and it's really hard to get that projection and to get your voice forward. Does that make sense? So there's a balance. Hey, Kristen, nice to see you. Yeah. So does anybody have any questions on that? I know for me, as a singer and a songwriter, when I'm performing, when I'm leading worship, I like to sing with my resonators, like my mask. This is called a mask. I like to sing here as much as possible. It takes the pressure off my throat. I love it. Oh, sorry, husband called to ask about dinner. Hey, you gotta go. When the husband calls, I totally get it. Does anybody have any questions about the voice, about what I said? Anything? I'd be happy to, try and answer your questions. I guess, there's a way to belt, and I'm actually going to be talking about this for worshiptraining.com. I'm doing a free webinar, and I'm talking about the difference between belting and blending your registers. Okay, and there is a correct way of belting, and there's a correct way of blending your voice and making it really smooth and clear. And we're going to talk about that and debate that a bit because I think it's important. I think there are a lot of people that don't know how to sing correctly, and so they defer to belting and trying to emulate what's on the radio, and it's not good. It's not good for the voice. It doesn't give the voice longevity, and you're more prone to vocal nodes on your folds and all that stuff. So it's better to learn the foundations of singing and then decide for a stylistic thing if you want going in a certain direction and belting for one song or whatever you want to do, but at least you have a foundation to fall back on. So I don't know if Cody's still on, but she has the foundation, and I guess what I want to say is hold on to that foundation. Don't settle. Don't put it on a shelf and go, yeah, I'm not going to use this anymore because I'm not an opera singer or whatever. the case may be. No, you got to use it, because those of us that are classically trained or trained well, our voices have longevity. If we defer to what's popular and we just do what everybody else is doing, then we're making our voice susceptible to injury. And we don't want to do that, especially when you've been trained correctly. You don't want to do that. So how do you get to sound popish, contemporary, with the same foundations as singing? And this is one way for me to do it. And if you listen to voices in the contemporary field and in the English language in United States, it's very nasally sounding, very spread out. It's really stylistic. All you have to do is take your foundations of singing and manipulate the stylistic attributes of the song or what you're doing, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. If you want to, you just take what you know how to do, and then change the vowels, change the style of how it's done, where are you going to breathe, where are the dynamics. All those different things can change the style of a song to be more contemporary, more classical, more country, more pop, more R&B, more jazz. All that stuff, you can change it around with the styles, but keep the foundation solid. And it's a lot more fun that way. Just saying. Okay, well, I guess nobody's asking me any questions, so I guess I'll leave you. But that was what I wanted to talk about today, so I hope it's helpful. Anyway, anything else before I go? You got me? You got my attention? If not, then you're welcome, Kristen. You're welcome. Is there any topic you want me to talk about next week? Anything? Tell me. Going to go bark in my closet. Okay. I dare you. And as a vocal coach, I've done it all. So, hey, if I can do it, you can do it. And do it with your kids. Pretend like it's a game. They'll have no clue that you're actually trying to figure out your voice. Just, hey, kids, let's pretend we're dogs. And they'll have no clue. Or, hey, let's do some motor cars, get your motor cars out. And we're just going to, with your son or whatever. You're welcome. 3 John for Mama. Amy, I haven't seen you in forever. Amy, how are you doing? So I just finished up talking about the resonance as a vocalist, where that is located. What are some exercises to do? You're doing great. Yay. All that stuff. So if that interests you, Amy, then you can catch the replay. I also asked, if there's anything else next week on Tuesday, if you'd like me to talk about anything that you're struggling with your voice, I'd be more than happy to do that. Or I'll choose a topic. Okay, cool. And then at the end of this month, I think it's the 26th of April, I'm doing a free webinar for worshipteamtraining.com, and it's about belting versus blending. And if you're interested, you can sign up. Going to start dinner. Thank you again. Have a great rest of your day. You're welcome, Kristen. You take care and you let me know what happens, okay? All right. God bless everybody. Bye.